Hello, and welcome to Beyond the Veil. Our first episode today. It is November 23rd, 2025. It's currently the afternoon where I'm at. The weather is pretty gloomy, but it's nice and cozy inside where I'm at. I'm sure you have been waiting all for this. I do apologize in advance for being weird, but here we go. To be honest, I have been really scared to share this, but this is the story of how I came to be. Imagine if the astral, the spiritual dimension, was as clear as the room you're sitting in right now. Imagine if your higher self stood right in front of you. That's what my world became and is. And here's the strange part. My physical appearance, this body you see, it doesn't fully match what I look like out there in the realms where my true form exists. Out there, I look older, younger, taller, ancient, new, a version of me that carries all timelines at once. Yeah, I know. We're diving deep already, but that's why we're here. This podcast is for those who feel in between worlds, the ones who've died inside and been reborn, the ones who sense that their soul is far bigger than their skin. So, welcome to the beginning, to my story, to your story, to the space beyond the veil. I'm Ife Official, and I'm finally ready to show you what I've seen. Alright, let's go a little deeper. I want to start with a word most of us heard when we were younger, but never really questioned: the firmament. It's one of those ancient words that feels heavy, almost cosmic. But if you slow it down and break it apart, it becomes like a map of human consciousness. Let's look at the word itself, firmament. We're going to break it into pieces. The word firm means something solid, structured, or held together. Is the bridge, the breath, the connective part. And ment, mind, mental realm, the invisible architecture, like in sentiment, alignment, placement. So metaphysically, firmament becomes the solid structure of the mind that holds your reality in place. Not just the sky, not just a dome, not just a layer, but the mental plane that shapes everything you perceive. When I went through my spiritual death and rebirth, my firmament cracked. The structure of my inner world, the rules I lived by, shattered. And when that breaks, you start to see through the layers of your own reality. You start noticing the places where the physical and astral overlap. So let's take this idea further using the roots of language, because English hides a lot of truths in plain sight. The prefixes is the beginning, the spark. Meta, meaning beyond, above, higher, outside the normal structure. So metaphysically, where your soul steps outside the story. Trans, meaning across, through, moving beyond a boundary. Not trans as in trans, okay? But metaphysically, the moment consciousness travels between realms, that moment. The root word of inter means between, woven within. So metaphysically speaking, the space where dimensions touch. You feel these wherever you experience deja vu, lucid dreams, astral travel, or spiritual downloads. Suffixes, the anchor, the foundation. So ment, meaning state of mind, which metaphysically is the inner blueprint shaping your outer world. Ents and aunts, meaning the state of becoming. So metaphysically, the part of you that's in transition. Eon, ION, meaning action, motion, energetic movement. So metaphysically, a shift initiated by the soul. And when you combine these pieces, you start seeing your inner universe like a living language. Nothing is random. Words become mirrors. Structure becomes symbolism. And the firmament is the first layer you're born with. And the first layer that breaks when you wake up. This is where my rebirth began. With the collapse of the mental sky I thought was me. And once that sky opened, I started remembering what I actually look like outside of this body. But we'll get to that. For now, remember this. Your firmament is not the ceiling above you. It's the belief system inside you. And once you crack it, you start to see the astral realm as clearly as your bedroom walls. Now for the next segment, I want to talk about the astral form versus the physical form. So now that we've talked about the firmament, that inner sky and mental structure, let's get into something I've never explained publicly. My astral form and how different it is from the version of me you see in the physical. Most people go through their life thinking, I'm this body, this height, this face, this shape, but the body you're born into is more like a temporary suit tailored to the world you landed in. So for your astral form, that's who you truly are when nothing is filtered. Let me tell you a secret about the astral. You don't look like a body there. You look like a frequency, like intention, memory, like the echo of every lifetime layered into one silhouette, like Shrek. Onions have layers. So the best way I can describe it is this. In the physical world, I look small, soft, human. But in the astral, I look ancient, taller, brighter, and far more defined. Not defined by muscle, well, maybe a little, but defined by energy. Where my physical face has features, my astral face has geometry. Where my physical eyes reflect light, my astral eyes create it. And where my physical body has proportions, my astral body has presence. So think of it like this. If your soul stepped out of your body right now, you would notice that you don't even move the same. Your walk becomes a glide. Your posture becomes regal. Even your aura shapes itself like a coronation cloak. In the astral, I carry myself like someone who remembers where I came from. I look like someone who's still living the story here. Both are true. Both are me. Just different layers of the same consciousness. Let me give you an example. My hair here on earth, dark, curly, soft. But in the astral, it moves like liquid, like a shadow. Longer, weightless, almost alive. My eyes are brown here, but in the astral, they glow like white light. Kind of like storm, but brighter. And my height on earth here, I'm small. But in the astral, I stand like someone built from prophecy or whatever. Presence takes up more space than inches ever could, though. So, why does this matter? Why talk about it? Because the disconnect between who you are on the outside and who you are in the astral is often what begins a spiritual awakening. You start to feel this body isn't big enough to contain me, or the world can't see what I really look like. I'm so misunderstood, blah, blah, blah. And that's exactly what happened during my resurrection moment. My spiritual death and rebirth. I finally stopped trying to match the outer world and started remembering the version of me that the astral had known all along. In the next segment, I'm going to talk about what the astral realm actually looks like. Not the fantasy version, not the Hollywood version, but the real layout of the inner worlds when your firmament breaks and your vision opens. Pretty deep, huh? Alright, let's step into the astral, my favorite part. Most people expect some wild fantasy world full of neon colors, floating islands, and glowing portals, and yeah, sure, those things exist, but that's not the core of it. That's not what you see when you enter with awareness instead of imagination. The real astral realm looks nothing like the movies. It looks like truth without a filter. Let me explain. When you first enter the astral, the world doesn't appear separate from the physical. It looks like both layered on top of each other. Like reality is printed on transparent sheets of paper and someone is sliding them into alignment one by one. Like a microscope or a projector at school. Things appear softer, sharper, lighter, and heavier, all at the same time. It's not the place that changes, it's your perception that does. You start noticing things you couldn't see before. Shadows that move with intention, light that bends like it's listening. Just weird hallucinogenic shit. Like each thing is built from patterns you somehow recognize. And then the air in the astral isn't just air. It's like living, breathing consciousness that watches you back. You don't breathe it, you communicate with it. Every thought you have there creates movement, creates ripples, shapes, pulses. Your mind becomes the architect. Now picture this. In the physical world, you walk into your living room. Furniture, walls, windows, simple, right? In the astral overlay of that same room, you'd see the energetic imprint of every emotion ever felt there. The memory of conversations that lingered in the air, and soul signatures of everyone who's ever entered. It's familiar but deeper, like reality with its subtitles turned on, which I like to do. I love reading. Woo! When you travel farther into the astral, past the layers attached to the physical world, things shift again. The more you detach from your human identity, the less the astral looks like places, and the more it looks like states of consciousness. Time doesn't move, instead, you move through time. Imagine a world where distance isn't measured by space, but by level of understanding. Where the moment you learn something, a new corridor opens. That is the astral, a realm that rearranges itself around your vibration. You're not exploring it, you're simply remembering it. When my firmament cracked during my spiritual rebirth, I didn't just see the astral, I returned to it. I recognized it like an old home I forgot I built, and that was the moment I understood. My physical story and my astral identity were never meant to match. They were meant to merge. All right, that concludes our first episode of Beyond the Veil. Thank you for walking with me beyond the surface, beyond the noise, beyond the world everyone else thinks is the only one that exists. If anything in this episode opened something inside you, if it made you question, remember, or feel seen, then we're already moving in the right direction. This journey is just beginning. Every episode we're going to go deeper into the astral, into identity, into time, into parts of yourself you've always felt but never had words for. So take a breath, ground yourself, drink some water, let your mind settle, and let your spirit integrate what it heard tonight. If you enjoyed this first step together, share the episode with someone you know who walks between worlds also. Trust me, they'll feel it. Until the next door opens, stay aligned, stay aware, and keep your light steady. This has been Ife Official. Don't forget to check out my music on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. This has been Beyond the Veil.